The engine revs, doth rise, the lights come on. It is time to wind them up and let them go. Oh, Colin Dunn didn't move. A terrible start from the pole sitter. It's Adam Davies has gotten through. Chris Callahan. No, Chris Callahan's going to steal the honours. And through into the lead for the number 11 car. And Colin Dunn down into 4th position. Matt Webb now up to 3rd. Very nicely done. There is Colin trying to do an outside manoeuvre through the first turn. That is Copps. Then right behind him, Mark Holmes. David Garside's had a decent start, making a few... Oops, that's... I think that's Mr. Morton. He's got that one horribly wrong and is doing a bit of lawn mowing at the tail of the field. But what a start from Chris Callahan up into the top spot with Adam Davies right behind. Colin Dunn wants that position back. He's certainly got the pace to do it, but let's see if he's able to do so. Looks like everybody has survived so far. So that moment there for sure. Morton has put him down the field. Oh, hello, look at this. That's the view from Mark Holmes. Well, more accurately, that is the view from Mark Holmes. Although the window is pretty big and not really obstructed in the view. Oh, that's Matt Webb getting a bit squiggly coming through. That's Stowe. Keeps it nicely under control. Look at this. That's a really tight battle up the front. Rather pleasing start there, Mr. Owen.
Yes, everyone was very well behaved. And I really hope that the pros are watching this. Because when we start, we've got almost double the number of drivers.
Indeed.
If we are as well behaved through turn 1 and 2 as the AMs were, that'll stand us in good stead.
And Adam Bent has fallen back into the clutches of Sean Morton as well, so he's had a bit of a problem. I think David Garside's had an issue as well. He's now down into 8th position. There's Kev Straw chasing Simon Williams. Mark Holmes right on the back of Matt Webb still. And I've missed it, but Colin Dunn has made the move on Adam Davies for 2nd position. Nicely done. So it's now up to Chris Callahan to try and defend that lead. That's got to be rather daunting, and a car that you're not particularly familiar with that wants to kill you at every opportunity. Nicely done, Chris Callahan. Although, saying that, here comes Adam Davies. Chris Callahan's lost momentum there with that drift through Copps. He's actually bowed out of that one. He didn't fancy going side by side through Maggots. Fair enough, I don't particularly blame him in these cars. Whoa, Adam Davies, can you slow that down? He can. He's now forcing the outside for Beckett, but he's not going to get the momentum he needs through there. So Colin Dunn holds on to the lead fairly easily now through Chapel onto the hangar straight. Here comes Chris Callahan once again, keeping himself very much in the fray. He's had a great run through those next 2 corners. He's going to easily come past Adam Davies. And Colin Dunn is starting to build a lead for himself as we rather thought he would. Mark Holmes and Matt Webb behind them are continuing their battle. No, Callahan didn't commit. That's interesting. He bowed out of that one before he got to Stowe. So Adam Davies maintains 2nd, but... Oh, that's Matt Webb doing a bit of lawn mowing behind. That's going to give Mark Holmes an opportunity to steam past, and he does. The number 20 car gets up into 4th position. Nicely done. Right behind them is Simon Williams, looking to try and get involved in the fight. Already, Mr. Fishwick, Colin Dunn's 1.5 seconds up front, so is he going to dance off into the distance? But, and I'm sure you'll agree with me on this one, Toby, you make a mistake and you will lose a lot of time in these cars.
Yes, and I think everyone's been very sensible so far. It's as I said at the top of the piece, it's all about who makes the least mistakes, and I think we're seeing a very sensible approach. Oh!
You saw Mr. Holmes as well. Wow, he held it. I'll give him that. That's not an ideal line there, Mr. Adams. So I did it again. I knew I would do that at some point, Mr. Williams. Well, Kev Straw now on his case. And David Garside. Oh no, David Garside's hit the tyres and taken the catch fencing out with him. He's got a problem. We've lost one already. Who have we lost? I should know. There's only 10 of them, but we have lost one from the lobby. Oh no!
Sean Morton.
Oh no, Sean Morton is out of the race, and David Garside's really struggling to get that car going again. So 3-second lead now for Colin Dunn, really getting into his stride. Chris Callahan keeping Adam Davies company up front, but Mark Holmes has not been able to get away from Matt Webb for 4th position. So the field is spreading out a little bit, but there goes David Garside. That's a shame. He was really struggling with these cars. But you can see actually in this head-on shot with Matt Webb just how narrow the wheels are. The bike wheel analogy wasn't that inaccurate. So, compared to the size of the body, and these things are heavy. Aluminium was not a common material back in the 50s. It was used, but not, not exclusively. So these things were pretty heavy beasts, and those wheels are very, very, very narrow compared to the length and the size of the body. So sliding them was always the way forward. But it feels quite odd, doesn't it, Toby, when you're used to how pretty much any other kind of racing series goes, as we see Callahan lining up a move on Adam, but no, he's not committed to that one. He's being quite sensible into the woodcut chicane. But it feels quite odd, doesn't it, when you're kind of fighting your racing instinct to hit the racing line and the braking point and the turn in the way you normally would in a touring car. You have to almost turn that completely upside down for these things.
Yeah, I mean, I race Mazda MX-5s in the real world, and whilst this is a much heavier car, the handling characteristics are really not dissimilar. So I think I've probably got up to speed with it a bit quicker than some others. I won't pretend to be particularly good with it, but it does resonate with when I race my MX-5s. Definitely more than the touring cars. It is a very different beast from the touring cars.
Whoa, Callahan! Whoa, you caught that one. As we went on board with Chris, we saw how much opposite lock he had to put in. But look how much time that's cost him against Adam Davies, who's now starting to get a bit of a gap. 146.9 on the board from Colin Dunn. That's an absolute stormer. Again, as he's on the pad as well, these things that the handling characteristics are less punishing for a pad user because you tend to just chuck it in and get the slide right. It's still easier on a wheel, in my opinion, but it's less punishing than it would be in either the touring cars or the a single seater, say. As we look at Kev Straw now homing in on Simon Williams.
Matt Webb's made a mistake. He's now behind this battle, and
he has,
and gaining on it quite quickly.
Yeah, 208 last time around. He's made a big mistake somewhere because he was with Mark Holmes last we looked at him. Here comes Kev Straw. He's gotten alongside Simon Williams, but can't quite commit to that as they sweep through. Where is that? That's Club. They've just gone through as they come down to Abbey. Oh, no, big pardon. Kev Straw's got him. They're both silver, so I got that one wrong. So Simon Williams has lost that 5th position. That was a lovely move from Kev Straw. But yeah, Matt Webb, we did say one mistake is going to send you heading off towards the tail of the field, and that is what's happened to him. But like you say, Toby, he is gaining on the 2 ahead of him pretty quickly.
Let's see how he copes with it, because in these cars, what I've found in practice is that mistakes breed mistakes.
Like so! Commentator cursor, wasn't even me. He did a 152 just as he crossed the line, but he was already out of shape, and he has bumped into the wall, and it's going to be enough to upset the balance of the car. Oh, that was a shame. Matt Webb was.
That was my first commentator curse.
Be proud, sir. Hold on to that one. Simon Williams has lost the back of Kev Straw. Wow, Kev Straw's really starting to make up some time. He's got about 4-ish seconds to Mark Holmes. Oh, I think Mark's made a mistake. That looks very, very slow. He has. He's made a mistake at Club. That's going to put him in striking distance of Kev Straw very, very quickly. Here comes the silver car. He's gaining on Mark pretty quickly. You can see the proximity markers coming up as Chris Callahan and Adam Davies look like they're going to start to cross swords again. Adam had actually broken away a bit from Chris. Again, looking at the lap times of 46 for Colin, 48 for Adam, 50 for Chris. But those two have closed up again. Let's have a quick look at them. There they are. They were well over a second apart only half a lap ago. Oh, Chris really went absolutely charging into the woodcut chicane. I think he may have lost a bit of time there because he was going in very, very hot. He gained about, 1.5 seconds-ish on Adam last time around, but Colin Dunn has certainly got the mastery of these cars. There he is, nearly 9 seconds to the good now up front, but we've got a pair of great battles forming behind with 5.5 minutes to go.
It's a bit too much cuts from Kev there. You can cut the first part of that chicane quite a lot, actually, considering where the curbs are. The second part is much less forgiving. You tend to get a slowdown warning if you cut any of the second part of that chicane. But the first curb, you can usually get away with half a car width. Sorry.
I actually forgot you're running the broadcaster view, so you're seeing what I'm seeing. I actually forgot that one. Because I was thinking, my goodness, he's doing well, looking at catching the mark as I am. Then I just realised why. So as we look at Chris Callahan again, closing in. Oh no!
Can he hold it?
He has. That's really well done. What Chris did there is he countered the slide too early, so he got the four wheels basically back in line way earlier than he actually wanted. So the car just drifted, or just wandered off the road. But then he very wisely got out of the gas to stop him. Oh dear, that's a bent Adam Bent. Not the first time he would have heard that one, I am sure.
I'm wondering whether he meant to do that. And the reason I say that is because at the last round in the Red Bull Ring, Mark Holmes actually found himself spun into the pit lane through no intention.
Oh, he did, didn't he? Yes, I remember now. You remember filming that one? I was like, oh, that's unlucky. He's kind of got shoved in there through. It was avoidance, wasn't it? Was he avoiding an incident? Yes,
avoiding a Miles Dixon rejoining the track. But I'm just wondering, the last chicane here, it is so tricky to get right. I'm just wondering whether
Chris!
Adam Bent meant to go into the pits.
Well, I mean, he has that. There is damage to the front of his car, so I would say that he probably did. And the pit entrance is on a straight, so you'd have to have really done something rather magical to get that one wrong. 3-second penalty for Mr. Callahan. It's less damaging in these things just because they're not as fast as other cars. So 3 seconds sounds a lot in racing terms. It's still a bit of a distance, but it is a bit less harmful in these things. I mean, he's 22 seconds ahead of Mark Holmes, as an example, who just... who did we just see in the back of the shot? It was Adam Bent. I would love to know what he's hit. He's either banzaied into the wall. The walls are a long way away from the circuit, as you can see. So
the last chicane. It's got a good chance of the last chicane.
It'll be the last chicane, won't it? Yeah, fair shout there. And that is Mark Holmes in the background. So Adam's had a bit of a rough time of it. 2.5 minutes to go, so not too much longer for these drivers to continue to fight these cars.
I'm afraid, Chris, I will have to leave you here.
Of course.
To go and get the Pro Lobby readied up. So thank you very much for having me. And
our pleasure.
I look forward to watching the live stream back of the Pro race. That one should be very interesting indeed.
I have no doubt. Thank you very much, Toby Owen. So Toby is off to sort out, or to begin to form the Pro Lobby. So as we'll get our Pro drivers mustered together for their turn to do their 15-minute qualifying and their 15-minute race. I have no doubt that we'll have more thrills and spills in their race. Aaron Davies has got the measure of Chris Callahan at the moment. 2.1 seconds separate Adam and Chris, as we have less than 2 minutes to go. Chris carrying that penalty as well. There's Mark Holmes. The minding his own business. Oh no! Well, I think Toby was right. It was in that final chicane where things have gone wrong, and that's, again, he's hit the wall. You can see how that car is just misbehaving. We go into the cockpit view. No, he's keeping the wheel fairly straight, actually. I wondered if he was going to have to kind of be steering on a straight. And there, again, you just saw where the slide doesn't work. If the slide doesn't go well, the car just wants to wander off. It doesn't behave itself at all. So Adam really struggling with this car, unfortunately. That's going to go. Yeah, thought so. And that's more frustration than anything else. I feel for you. I do, because when you're in a position where it doesn't seem to matter what you do, the car just gives up on you. Oh, wow. Well, that looked close. Was that Kev Straw coming past him? Yes, it was. It looked close from that camera angle. It may have actually been nowhere near one another. But I feel for Adam there, because it's very demoralising when you've got a car that just will not behave itself. And these things being less familiar than others. When you're racing a touring car, like Toby, for instance, races the MX-5s, there's an amount of transferable knowledge and instinct to the likes of the touring cars or other similar vehicles. These things aren't really like anything unless you race very classic cars in real life or as a habit. Checkered flag is coming out for this man, unless Colin has an absolute mare. We've seen the commentator curse kick in already, so it's not impossible. That, I think, is down at Stowe. So let's follow Colin through for the remainder of this lap. That is indeed... no, beg your pardon, that was Club, as he now swings through Abbey onto the farm straight, down towards the Woodcut chicane for the final time. And he will be taking the checkered flag. And some people will be quite happy about that, but that's a very convincing win for Colin. He makes it look very easy, and believe me, it is not. Oh, I beg your pardon. It was Beckett's and Chapel he's gone through. That's Stowe he's just done now. See, I don't commentate on this track very often, so my apologies. Now he's coming through Club. And there we go. So you've got a sharp right that leads into a fast left twice. Beckett's and Chapel is the first combination, and Club and Abbey being the next. Now he's on Farm Straight. He was the Hanger Straight he was on previously. And FYI, the pit lane entrance. Oh, you can see that's Adam Bent just going past it. Oh no, that was Matt Webb, I beg your pardon, just going past it. So, you know, you would have to go in it on purpose. But your winner in race number 1 for the AMS is Colin Dunn. Very nicely done, Mr. Fishwick. Adam Davies, a very well-deserved second place in these classic 300 SLs. Nice, lovely, well-controlled slide at the end. Chris Callahan is going to come home in 3rd place. Great effort there. Mark Holmes, again, a solid effort there. He's swinging through Abbey, I think. He's 23 seconds behind Callahan. That, as we just switch to the cockpit view, we should see, yes, that is indeed. Heading down to Woodcut. There's the pit lane entrance. Very cautious into, a little bit later with the turn in there, but Mark comes home in 4th position. He's not under immediate danger, so you can afford to scrub off some time there. Simon Williams. He's again, I picked him up at exactly the same spot I picked up Mark. So that's again Abbey Curve. Down towards... Well, Bridge is on the map. That's technically the thing on the outside of the track. But through the Woodcut chicane. So easy to get that wrong, especially on these things. You know, the brakes are made out of cheese. Kev Straw will pick up 6th place. And Matt Webb, I believe, is a lap down. No, Matt Webb is still going. I beg your pardon. Adam Bent is... I think he's already crossed the line. Yes, he has. So it's just Matt Webb then to finish off proceedings. We lost a few in the race, and I wouldn't be surprised if we lose a few of the pros as well, just because of the nature of the car, as mentioned, being very, very different to anything else these guys would have driven in the past. Some similarities, as Toby was explaining, to the, for instance, how you would drive the MX-5s. But on the whole, these things are very, very different indeed. Right.